Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Blue Clouds Media Sports, Blue Cloud Sports. And here we're back again. My name is Nate Zion, streaming live from YouTube and Facebook, respectively. Shout out to, I'm not going to continue anything. I'm just going to give this guy, my brother over here, just the shout out. Oscar, big up to you. He could not wait for us to go live. He could not just wait for us to go live. Look at Oscar's messages already. Thank you, brother. Thank you for being here. He said it's almost here. 1 minute. Thank you for having that patience and holding on over here, brother. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Yes, we got lots of news to talk about today. To January 4th, January 4th, 2023, a new year. I want to wish everybody again happy new year, and happy new year. We're bringing you the latest edition of the current sports news. We're streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. Like I said, the news. So I'm going to go through. I'm not here alone, but then let me go through the table of content today and what we're really going to talk about. We got transfer news. We got latest Premier League games also coming up. We will get into it. So like I said, welcome back to all my neighbors. I used to say, good morning, my neighbors. Wherever you're watching me from, it's still early in the morning. It's still morning here, getting close to noon here in the States. And also, it is afternoon in Africa, afternoon in the UK, to be precise. Lots of fans. I got lots of fans from Africa and the UK, and an evening in Asia. So thank you, everyone. Thank everyone that is tuning in today. Let's get it going. We're gonna go through it, and then some former Liverpool fans don't understand why Chelsea wants Enzo Fernandez for a fee of 120 million. They don't understand it. They can't wrap their head around it. Steve Nicol views about Chelsea going in for Enzo Fernandez for a fee of 120 million. It's what we're going to talk about today. Negotiation for Chelsea and Enzo Fernandez deal. We will get into it. Chelsea and Vlahovic. Just in Vlahovic, there is substance going on there. We will get into it, whether that deal will materialize or not. We will get into that too. Cristiano Ronaldo claimed many clubs wanted him before his move to Al Nassr. Arsenal vs Newcastle game yesterday. We will also elaborate substance, what went wrong. Do Arsenal have the gut? Do they have that strength to sustain this the strength and then the temptation of the Premiership? Do they have enough squad depth to stand everything? Will they get Modric? I think Modric. Will they get Modric to be able to fill in that gaps? We're yet to see. And also Cristiano, like I said, Cristiano Ronaldo title race still very on for everyone. Man City are still on. Arsenal are still on for the title race. Newcastle are pushing. Also, Manchester United are pushing very hard. We will look into that. Ten Hag views about Manchester United win against Bournemouth. We will look into that. We cover almost all the top news, the top stuff. I mean, news in in the world of football. I mean soccer. If you're from the other world, which is the Europe, we're talking about football. If you're here in America, we're talking about soccer. So do not hesitate. Do not forget. Put a like on the video and also share this video or share the link to every platform that you found yourself. Bottom left corner below. Do not hesitate to like the video and also keep your bell notification icon active so when we go live, you wouldn't miss anything from the platform. I want to say Happy New Year, Lea Desperandos, and hang on to hope. Let me one more time, acknowledge friends and brothers and sisters, everyone that is in the chat. And I'm going to start with Oscar. Like I said, I already read Oscar's messages. He said, hello, is someone here? He was then waiting patiently. And then he said, 1 more minute to go. Then I have my sister, my big sister, who's always joining me here when I stream. And that's a very good job for me. He always checked the comment and make sure no one is spamming. And then we're using the right word we're supposed to use on the community. Thank you very much for I123 love you. She said busy but listening along while I work, my brother. Thank you very much for always tuning in and spending time with us here. So we're gonna get it going as usual. I'm being joined by my co-host, Steven. Steven, welcome to the stream. Can you hear me, Steven? Probably Steven can hear me, but I know when he hears me, he will jump into it. I welcome Steven again. Steven, if you can hear me, welcome to the stream, brother.
Yeah,
Steven is
I'm not sure
unmuted.
if you can hear me, but if you can, thanks
I can
for
hear you
having me.
now.
But I'm having
Yeah, I can hear you now. If you can hear me, then you can. You're on the floor. You can go on. All right, Steven. Steven is having difficulties. So Oscar said I already did. So this is what we're gonna start with. The we will definitely. We got a lot to talk about. Enzo Fernandez, Todd Bowley, and also we're gonna talk about Graham Potter. These three people are the main subject of today's content, and then we have other news. Like I said, Vlahovic, Chelsea. There's a lot of Chelsea news here, and then also Cristiano Ronaldo, Arsenal versus Newcastle. Steven, are you back? Well, Steven will get back in again. So we're gonna start with the what Steve Nicol have to say. Steve Nicol on Enzo Fernandez. Steve Nicol, former Liverpool defender, is not satisfied with Chelsea spending huge amount on Enzo Fernandez. Steven is here. Yes, Steve Nicol is now satisfied with Chelsea spending almost about 120 million on Enzo Fernandez. Steve Nicol was speaking on ESPN. I'm gonna read a statement. I'm quoting what he said on ESPN to you guys so we can all judge and see if he's right or not. Steve Nichols was speaking on ESPN. He said, "I am only the person that thinking what's wrong with Chelsea. You are going to spend 120 million on Fernandez. Am I the only person thinking that is wrong?" So we're gonna delve into it. If you think 150 or 120 million on Fernandez is a wrong deal or not, looking at what we have now and how the team is playing, is the Fernandez deal spending that much money on Fernando and Fernandez, is it right or wrong? Let me bring my co-host in. Steven, what do you make of Steve Nichols' comment on ESPN yesterday? Can you hear me?
Um, but at the end of the day, when
it's not looking good. It's
apparently not going to sell unless the release clause was met. Yet, paying.
I beg your pardon, guys. I'm very sorry if he's having a very bad difficulties with connection. I'm not sure what is going on with Steven's end there, but I hope that he can sort things out as we go. Let me see if I can get him back. Guys, let me know what you guys think. 120 million on Steve Nichols, and we're gonna go in with I'm gonna share a link with you with one of these Chelsea, in someone that work in the inside that know much about Chelsea in and out. Shout out to big up to you, over there, Kimpin. Kimpin is back again, and he said, "Hi, brother. What's the latest Manchester United news?" Today, I don't have any much on Manchester. I did a lot of research. There's nothing new on Manchester United. It has to do with Cristiano Ronaldo, and like I said, he's the only one being linked, link away from the football club. So if any news comes in, although he's not working for Manchester United, you still want to talk about it. So that's the only thing. There's no much that I've covered under Manchester United. We did set much of it yesterday that they don't have much money to go outright and purchase a player, but all they can afford to do is loan players. But to now, I don't know. I think I have something there, but that will, unless we go into it, and then let me see if I can find that. I don't think so for now. But then as time goes on, we will give you any latest on Manchester United, because whilst we're talking, we're getting new feedbacks from the media outlet. So do not worry about. Steven, are you back now? Is things okay?
I think so.
Yeah, I just heard you, so it looks like you're ready to go. Go ahead, Steven.
Gary Neville's also piping up again.
Okay.
Fun because he likes to talk about spending and this
Steven, are you using your
and that, but yet
headphone?
he just
Are you using your headphone? Yeah.
needs
I.
to
What are you
spend
using right now,
like complain
Steven?
because Chelsea and them to
He
do it.
can't hear me. He can't hear me.
But then on Steve, huh?
Can you hear me? Do you have your
No, I
earphone
can't.
in?
It's
Do
going
you have
in
an
and out.
earphone in? Yeah. Do you have an earphone in into your laptop or what device are you using?
I did have earlier.
Yeah. If you're not using the headphones, it's going to be cutting off. Try and use the headphone. See if that work.
1 sec.
I'm sorry, guys, for the technical issues here. We have a lot to digest over here. Lots of news to digest. As I'm just waiting, Steven, to put inject his opinion in before I carry on. Else we're gonna end up missing a lot. For me, I think Oscar said. For me, I think it is a lot of money, but he proved himself a lot, and and has a place in a good team. Absolutely. Enzo Fernandez, ability, if he's able to come to Chelsea with all these star players that we have, the quality that we have, playing with those guys, definitely going to change our midfield. He's definitely going to change our midfield. And he's very young. So it's not like a transfer that we're signing for just 2 seasons. No, this guy is going to be there for over 5 seasons at Chelsea. And then should in case he should go on and flourish, play very well, hit the ground running. And we're gonna see in the next 2 years, Real Madrid will be coming for him. And I know Chelsea. There's no way Chelsea is gonna let that him go to a team like Real Madrid, because that's not what we are made for. We are made to win trophies, as maybe other mid-table teams like Tottenham Hotspurs, maybe Everton. Those are the teams that build players and sell them to the top teams like Real Madrid and Chelsea and Manchester United. Welcome back, Steven. I hope that we got it right this time.
Hopefully, it's not been good so far, but hopefully
It is good now. It is good now. So whatever you did now is the best. Go ahead. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I was just saying. So that's your by the way. Let's just and it's a position we need to fix. And if he's the right profile, our team significantly.
So I'm very, very sorry, guys. I don't think that Steven can get it going today. I'm not so sure, but yeah, we'll look into it. Steve Nichols' statement, to me, this is my opinion. It's like I said, it's a very, very huge money comparing where the money is coming from. But then it will be split. You wouldn't even see it, because it's not like Chelsea's going to pay one huge sum to to both parties, which is it could be Benfica. So it's not like Chelsea's covering all this money and give it to one team. It will be split up in couple seasons that Chelsea are gonna get that and pay off that money. So if other people are thinking maybe FSG, financial fair play, is going to come in and that will distract Chelsea's payment, I doubt. I don't think so. Steven, you're back again. Big up to you, Herbert. Maybe Herbert, Kimpin, maybe Herbert can get something for you. Yeah, stay around Herbert, Manchester United fan. He might get something for you. I didn't get much on Manchester United today. I have a little bit of Arsenal and Juventus and Chelsea, more on Chelsea today. So maybe Herbert will have something for you. He might share with us if he has time. Herbert knows how to get in here. So, yeah, Steven, I'm sure you're back. I've said that many times, and it's never going well. Can you hear me, Steven?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
I can hear you perfect now. Just keep talking. Let me know what the signal look like.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of lag at the moment. I'm not sure.
I think it takes couple couple seconds, like about 5 seconds before you can hear me. Um yeah, you guys can hear me, but Steven is I think it has to do with Steven's connection. It's not he can't hear me very well, and when he talks, it takes a couple seconds before his messages get to me, whatever the voice get to me. But like I said, Steve Nichols' statement, as he said, Steve Nichols, former Liverpool defender, is not satisfied with Chelsea spending that much money on a player, Enzo Fernandez. To me, I think it's a bargain because it's not a player that you're signing in for just today and tomorrow. It's a long-term project. And then this is what I'm going to share today with you guys. This is also a very credited, news. Someone that works inside Chelsea, and everyone is talking about him, and he wants to prove people wrong, people right, in terms of his news. So we got 14 of us watching at this moment. Please, we got only 4 likes. We can do better. We can do much more better than what we have now. So send your likes in, and also if you're first time watching us, do not hesitate to subscribe, and also keep your bell notification icon active. So when we go live, anytime, you wouldn't miss anything from us. So this is what we're sharing. I'm sharing with you at this moment. What it is the Felix guy. This is a very very trusted source. Let me zoom in a little bit. So we have this guy over here, and I'm gonna go. Let's walk through what he said. He said, I have no reason to doubt my source. He was involved in direct negotiation of deal sheet. All negotiation happening now is between club lawyers on payment plan when installments are paid. British transfer record needs time. Trilingual agreement due to Benfica, River Plate, and Chelsea. So it's not just a deal between just one person. It's 3 people. He even brought up the percentage rate, that how much money that River Plate will be getting from this deal. So if this guy is able to give us that figure, that should tell you he knows what he's talking about. And then I don't doubt that source. I really believe in what he's saying. He said, I have been told that Benfica have now contacted River Plate to confirm the deal sheet. The deal sheet has been signed, and now talks over how River Plate percentage will be paid, installment or plate or flat fee, etc. And then he went. It's about three tweets at the same time. Shout, abuse, and comment. I won't read them. I don't force anyone to believe me. Just block me or unfollow me, etc. So he's really key on the things that he's saying over here. He's really key. And this guy is a guy that worked with Chelsea Youth Academy. So he's a guy coming from inside, not outside. Denise said, pick up to you. Let me read more of the comments here whilst I'm waiting for Steven. Steven, are you good? All right, I'll send the link to Ryan. Ryan said I should send the link to him. So
Yeah, I
Ryan, I'll
hope you
send the
can
link
hear
to
me
you.
now.
Yeah, I can hear you now, Steven. Go ahead whilst I find the link for Ryan to join us in.
Okay,
Yeah,
hopefully we're
probably.
good now.
I hope so. Go ahead, keep talking, Steven.
Okay. Um. Yeah, just on the Felix. Yes. Yeah, just on the Felix stuff here that you've got on the screen. Yeah. So he's usually known for his information on the youth years. But he got some information he put out the other day, and
Yeah.
there was a lot of people not believing him, and hence that last tweet about people shouting abuse in the comments.
Yeah. All right. Now let me read what. Let me read. Whilst Steven still, that difficulty still. I'm very very sorry. It never happens. We always have a fluid conversation here, but Steven is having the worst difficulties he's ever had on the platform. But then I hope that things will sort out, and then he can fix things out, and then we can get going because he's hungry to lay things out because he's our correspondent and then represent us in the UK. He's a ticket holder, seasonal ticket holder. He goes to the ground each and every day, and he has lots of information. He knows lots of people that he gets information from. So Stephen is more reliable, also giving us some sources and where the news are coming from. It's also more reliable. So I'm very sorry, guys, that Steven is not flowing due to technical reasons. But I'm going to take some time whilst I wait for Steven to come on and talk to us. I'll take my time and read these messages coming from Oscar. He says, let me end my screen a little bit. Yeah, what am I doing? Okay, Oscar just said, why are some people in blue with a symbol next to the username? Oh, okay. Uh, symbol. Is it like the blue? Is it like the blue thing? I'm not so sure what you're talking about. He says, why are some people in blue with a symbol next to the username? Is it like the blue sign? I'm not. Let me see if this is what he's talking about. Like those with the blue sign. Is it like a blue tick? Is that what you're talking about, Oscar? Let me. If I know what you're talking about, I will just I will be able to help you out so I can explain why. Herbert said, we can hear you both, and then he said, I think that it can be valuable transfer over some period, even though it seems like a lot of money. I think I've read that one before. Steven, if you're back, you can hear me. You're good. You can go. We both hear you well. Why do I keep going back at Herbert? Going or not, bro? And then here it says look unlikely. Dinesh said, "Hi, Nee, listening to you from Pakistan. Big up to you, Dinesh. Big up to you. Um, thank you for spending time. I know it's late. It's late in Pakistan, probably around uh, 8 or maybe 9 over there in Pakistan. It's late, but thank you very much for spending time with us and listening to the latest news in sports. Trey said, "Big up, bro. Like the video. Keep it up. Is there any update on Felix to Chelsea or Manchester United?" I think definitely we're gonna have something for you on Manchester United as soon as Herbert gets here, because he's the in and out. He knows much about Manchester United, so he will give us more of the update on Manchester United when it comes on. I don't have much for my research. I don't get much today because him, as he's a Manchester United fan, any little thing he deep and get the analysis of United news. Whilst me, I spend a little bit of time on Manchester United, but still I bring you the latest that I can find. So yeah, uh, moderator, big up to you, moderator. Oscar said okay. Have to go. Okay, Oscar said he has to go. Sorry, it's all right, brother. It's all right. It's all good. We got 17 of us watching the stream at this moment, so do not hesitate to put a like on the video. Steven, you sound very lively. I can hear you very clear now. You can get it going.
Um, yeah. So if you can hear me, yeah, what I was saying was basically, Felix should put stuff out the other day and people didn't believe it, but from the understanding I have, the
Yeah.
information he has is actually correct. Despite what some of the general media are saying. What
Mhm.
I'm aware of is the news that Felix had put out the other day is actually correct. I think there's just typically a lag between the general journalists and media because I think
Yeah,
sometimes they're not always allowed to put things out until a certain point.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that cut out or you got all of that.
It cut out a little bit. It cut out a little bit, but you can still go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I was just saying. Yeah, I was just saying. My understanding is Felix's news is right, and that typically the general media have a bit of a delay. I think sometimes they're embargoed.
All right, keep going, Steven.
Yeah. Because I don't know where it keeps cutting out. I think the general media have an embargo, but I believe Felix's stuff to be right, and I think the general media will sort of start catching up gradually now.
Um, yeah, I think he's getting abused from fans that he's trying to give the news out to. Some people don't believe him. You know, you don't have to be Fabrizio Ronaldo. I mean, that's what Ronaldo, Fabrizio Romano to be able to bring the news out for people to follow, because people also have sources. Just like Simon Johnson said, they have other sources coming from Argentina, River Plate, where Enzo Fernandez was being transferred from to Benfica, and also we have another source also coming from Benfica. So there's so many sources coming out, but everyone has his own source. Fabrizio Romano might have his own source. I've had the news where Fabrizio Romano was wrong himself, but he came out and rephrased what he said, and he said, "Look, don't anything can happen in transfer window," because he knows that within a player can, just like William. If you guys know William was set to sign for Tottenham Hotspurs. Within 12 hours, in the face of 12 hours, William was signing a contract for Chelsea. How did that happen? So, should in case my name is Fabrizio Ronaldo. I mean, why do I keep Ronaldo? Fabrizio Romano. If should in case my name is Fabrizio Romano, and I came up with these news and I said, "Hey, William is signing for Chelsea. He's signing for Tottenham Hotspur," and within a few seconds, he said Chelsea signing the contract. It doesn't mean I was wrong, because in the transfer window, anything can happen within a few minutes or a few hours. So I agree with what I agree, and I'm not so happy with what people are saying to this Phillies guy, because he's much more he's the credited person working with Chelsea inside. So we should look at it that way. Also, I123 said the moderator have blue symbol next to them. I'm not sure if that's what he was talking about. I'm not sure if he was talking in regards to uh, the my screen that I was sharing. And also, did you DM me the link? Yes, I did, Steven. I mean, Herbert, I did DM you the link. It's right there. Checking your inbox. It should be in there. Yeah, it's right there, Herbert. If you can find it, Steven, did you have anything to
Yeah.
say with in regards
If
to
you
Steven
can
Nicol?
still hear me, another example would be recently Cody Gakpo.
Yeah.
Steve Nichols. Yeah, that was him and right. There's got to be competition in the summer. So, and way to pay it is from what is installment for installments, probably across transfer windows. And if we might
Still,
be an
Steven is not
add-on,
coming out. But yes,
an
Steven,
add-on,
we can hear you. We
and
can hear you.
contract
Okay,
FP coming.
hold on, Ryan. Hold on, Ryan.
We're
I
doing
think
it by it's an also contract on FP as well.
not sure what is going on with Steven's link today. It's making things will be bad. Sorry, guys. I really apologize again. Sorry, I didn't know it was gonna be that that bad. We got 10 of us watching here. So Ryan, I just send it in there again. Check it out if that will work for you. Steven, I had my voice not even a couple seconds. So if you can hear me, you can go ahead. Steven, are you there? Okay, I'm gonna continue with the news when Steven comes back and things are looking okay. I have Ryan here. Probably Ryan has some news for us on Manchester United. Ryan, welcome to the stream, Ryan.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly. I can hear you perfectly. What do you have for us before we go back to some of the news on some talks on Steve Nicol and then also the deal
Mhm.
with Enzo Fernandez? What let's I mean lay down what you have on Manchester United first before we move on. Steve, whilst we're waiting for Steven.
Yeah, I mean, from United, there isn't much today update because the Felix situation hasn't changed. They haven't lowered their demands, so I don't think that Felix will, I mean, he could join us, but it will take some time. It's not going to happen pretty like soon because Atletico want what they want, so it will take lots of bargaining before any club can land him. So we have to wait on that. Apart from that, someone asked about Wan-Bissaka. Ten Hag said yesterday that like he's impressed with Wan-Bissaka, and which indirectly means that probably he might not leave this January. Although there were some concrete rumors that West Ham want him. So, but again, we don't have an alternative to replace him, so I don't think he's leaving. So I mean, that's pretty much the update. There is not much with United today.
Okay. Thank you, Herbert. Thank you, Herbert. So just like Herbert said, there's not much going on. Manchester United. Yeah, Felix. He said a lot about Felix. I know you guys heard him very well, just like I did over here. Steven, are you good now? Yeah, this is something is really happening with Steven. But then, yeah, he kept trying very hard to make sure he joined, and then he joins us, give us the information as we all need it over here. It's not from my end here because I can check very, very well. I just had a conversation with Ryan, so that should tell you it's not coming from here at all. So we'll get into it. We'll get into it. Let's continue with the news. Ryan, Steve Nichols made a statement on Enzo Fernandez. How Chelsea he can't believe Chelsea was spending that much money on one player, Enzo Fernandez, for a fee of 120 million. What's your take on that?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, Herbert.
Look, it is too much money. I don't think he's the 120 million euros kind of player. I told you about this a few days back. Like no one knew him before the World Cup, and one World Cup later, he's like a 100 million player. He's talented, definitely. He's a box to box kind of player. I don't think he's a fix what people are making out to be. Like they want him to be the replacement for Jorginho. He's not that kind of player. I think he's like much more like a Conte replacement. I think that's what you're going to get in. Like he's a ball winning midfielder who can play ahead also. So he's like, he's a bit like Bellingham. You can put him in that category. But look, yeah, it is a too much price. But like Chelsea are known to do this. Like I don't think there's a problem with you guys in a climate where teams like United and Tottenham are, desperate to spend money and they don't have.
Yeah.
Chelsea are spending 120 million. So it should not be concerned. Your concern, especially Chelsea fans, like how much your owner is spending. You want success. That's it. If you're going to spend 120 million on a midfielder, so be it.
I mean, Manchester City have proven that spending that much money on big name players or big players like that, they can still help because look at the bench. Look at the bench. If they have injuries, then look at the bench. You can bring in what's his name? This the guy they call him Gaza. This young boy. What's his name? He plays on the left side. I think it's a winger or something. They have Jack Grealish there on the bench. They can bring him. Foden. They can bring him Foden. They have lots of players from the bench. So look at City's bench alone. There's lots of money on the bench this is what Chelsea wants to do. Because if you want to win the trophies, the big trophies in Europe, you want to invest a lot into big name players. And even they're not, if they're not big name players, good players. And nowadays, you don't expect to get a good player for a fee of 40 million. 40 million is just an average player. 30 million is just a player. If you want to get the best in the world, then you're talking about almost a fee of 60 million and over. But then looking at how they're gonna break the payment plan and everything down, 120 million, it wouldn't hurt Chelsea at all because Chelsea can sell jerseys that can pay off that money. Um, I'm not sure if you think that's right or not, Herbert.
Look, when you and Man City played the Champions League final,
Yeah.
both of you had spent lots of money. You had a 75 million Havertz who, eventually won you the game.
Mhm.
But I don't get this, point of spending too much. If you have to spend too much, that means you are ambitious. Your club is ambitious. You want to win stuff. So yes, he is overpriced. We spent 85 million pounds on Anthony. Yeah, he is overpriced. That's because of United's poor negotiation.
Mhm.
But you cannot get Enzo Fernandez for 80, 90 million. He just signed 6 months back. So I mean, I don't see what you're expecting. Like their Benfica is a World Cup winner, which is automatically put like 30, 40 million on whatever they're going to sell. So I don't see like how it can be, it is overpriced, obviously, everyone knows that, but you cannot get him for cheap because of what he has done and, his popularity at the moment. So I don't see it as a big problem. And at the end, Potter needs players. He needs his own players. And if Enzo Fernandez is one of them, just go and get it.
All right, this is coming from Manchester United camp. It says Twanzibi agent. Of course, the player himself will have to keep proving his fitness. But there are several clubs interested, mostly from the Championship. Watford are one side who are keen to get that player to Transibi, another good player. I think the centre back. I'm sure he's a centre back for Manchester United. He's not getting game time. So as young as he is, he needs to be playing. And a lot of our championship teams are looking after it. What do you make of Transibi, Herbert?
I mean, I'm not bothered by Swansea because I don't think he has a future at United. Maybe like, 3 years back or 2 years back, I
Mhm.
remember him, and I don't remember who the other centre back was, but him and Lindelof, yeah, sorry. Him, Lindelof, Luke Shaw, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka. That was our back four when we played PSG. When we won that, the second game, not the first one in which Rashford scored the penalty, where we won 2-1. He was very, very good in that game, Swansea, and everyone thought like after that he's going to be very good. But he got injured and then he missed 1.5 years, and now he's I don't know if he's fit or not. Then he had a decent pre-season, but I don't think he's a United quality man. I think we need to get rid of him. I don't see what a loan does. Maybe it can put some money on him, but yeah, I'm not concerned because we have four centre backs. If you include Luke Shaw, we have five. So Swansea, we have no space. Mind you, Eric Bailly, he still has to come back in the summer because he's in loan at Marseille. So I am not too bothered what happens with Swansea. If he goes on loan, it's good. If we sell him, like, whatever. But yeah, man, good to see him, at least fit. That's what I can say. He's from the academy, so everyone automatically has a soft spot for him. But for me, I am not too bothered what happens with him.
Yeah, just like I said, he has no future at Manchester United at this moment. Twansibi, a very good player, very young player, but then he need to play football. We got 12 and 15 of us watching at this moment, but we only have 5 likes. Come on, people, let's get the likes going. To keep the conversation very, very interesting. We're done with the Enzo Fernandez. We're gonna get more if Steven is still there. His things are working very well. He will give us more. Let me see what I can say to him. Yeah, Steven will join. Okay, he's just sent me a screenshot of what is going on. It says I can't see that very well. It says plug on responsive. You can wait for Okay, just refresh it. See if you can restart the device, and probably that will keep everything going. If you restart the device, I'm not so sure if you maybe your cell phone. Herbert, you're using your cell phone, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Stephen, if you can use your cell phone, maybe that might help because sometimes the cell phone works faster than the computer itself. So try the cell phone and see if that will push you through and work very well. So yeah, we're done with the Enzo Fernandez for now until Steven comes back. We're gonna get into it. Looking at negotiation for Enzo Fernandez. Like I said, according to Fabrizio Romano, Chelsea and Benfica spent the whole night in negotiation, but there's still no full agreement in key details. So once we have any details going on, we will share with you. Steven also is doing an he will share some stuff with us if we have any update at this moment as we're streaming live. We got 8 of us. Do not forget to put a like on the video as we stream. Like the video and also subscribe if you haven't. Chelsea and Vlahovic link. Chelsea and Vlahovic link. Today I got a full house. Ryan was here and then he's just left again. So Steven, are you good now, brother? Can you hear me, Steven?
Hopefully, for about the 10th attempt, it might find.
Can you hear me, Steven? Okay, Herbert, Chelsea and Vlahovic link. Chelsea are hoping
Yeah,
to
I can hear you.
include. Okay, Chelsea are hoping to include Matthew Kovacic in a deal for Juventus striker Dusan Vlahovic. Express and Football London has also expressed Vlahovic link with Chelsea. Where do we see this thing going? Vlahovic, striker. We have Obama Young and we have this what's his name? This injured young player. We have Fafana also coming in. 3 strikers already. Fafana. We have uh, uh yeah. Can someone remind me this young player that just got injured? Okay, I can't remember his name.
Andre
Broja. Yeah, yeah,
San-
Broja just
no,
got
not
also got
Andre
injured.
Santos.
So are they looking for
Brea.
extra more strikers to come in? Yeah, Broja. Are they looking for extra more strikers to come in? And where do we see this deal going, Herbert? If you can hear me, I think Steven is not settled yet.
Vlahovic,
Yeah, Vlahovic link with Chelsea.
I mean, I don't think you are signing in this January. Definitely not. Because first of all, Juve would want ridiculous amount of money, around 80, 90 million. Secondly, I think their whole club is under mess. I think they're under for criminal charge as well. The director of football, I think he's been taken to court, something like that. So I don't see Juventus, negotiating any players, especially in this period of time. So, and even if they sell them, like how are they going to replace Blahovic? So it's not just Chelsea buying them. Who are they going to replace it? So I don't see that happening. Maybe in the summer, because remember, there are not many options for a centre forward nine, and most of them are from Italy, Victor Osimhen and Vlahovic. And I expect United to be at least in for one of them. So no, no, I don't think that was going to happen. But did you, I think you bought a young striker, didn't you? From
Yeah,
Fofana guy. So I think that's the
Fafana. Yeah,
only thing you're
Fafana.
going to do. I don't see you going for a proper number nine.
Yeah, you don't know what Chelsea can do, but then having Vlahovic in the squad, I mean that would be too much money for just a January transfer. Because what we have to do, we'll be talking about Graham Potter. Also, Graham Potter is also in the news. We're talking about him while he's suffering that abuse and people want him out. I don't think it's the right thing to do. For it's way, way, way too early. Chelsea fans are way proactive. They're too proactive and they act too fast. And we got this no more. There's no more Abramovich here. Stephen Herbert said Ryan said I tried, kick me out for some reason. I'm not so sure. Just try it again. Try it again. You might get lucky. I will send another link in. Sometimes, this is what StreamYard can do to people. Today, I'm not really feeling my stream. I'm not really feeling the stream. Um, so yeah, like I said, Vlahovic. We already got Broja. Steven, Go ahead if you're in there. Why is the link kicking? StreamYard is kicking people out. Herbert, I'm not sure if the StreamYard kick you out, but if you're there,
No
you
idea.
can. Yeah, I can hear you better now. Go
I
ahead, Steven.
can't see him now. I can only see you.
Yeah, I think he left. Either he left or
Um,
maybe scream kick him
yeah,
out.
you were saying about you were saying about that trophy for it's gone
Vlahovic, Vlahovic.
again. I think. Hello. Hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Okay,
you.
one
Go ahead.
second. Oh, you were on about that. Oh, I thought you were still on that trophy for Fana because I was going to say Potter said they're waiting on all the clearances and yeah, I don't think Vlahovic happened because I think it was something to do with Kovacic involved in the deal. But I think Kovacic will go. I think we'll probably end up offering him a new deal. Plus the deal for it doesn't make sense in my opinion. So I just can't see pleasing Jorginho even to Brazil and maybe a deck example in the summer. So it wouldn't make sense to get rid of another midfielder to bring in another.
It hasn't been the best of stream today. I'm not. I'm a bit disappointed in the network, but it's not from my end over here. Probably the network that Steven is connecting from. So I apologize to everyone that is listening at this moment. Ronaldo, while speaking at Ronaldo claimed that lots of clubs were in for him. So during the press conference, and I'm going to quote what Cristiano Ronaldo said. Ronaldo, while speaking at introductory news conference from Al Nassr, he said, "Nobody knows, but I can say now that I had many opportunities in Europe, many clubs in Brazil, Australia, and US, even in Portugal. Club tried to sign me, but then he chose to sign for Al Nassr. So yeah, Ronaldo, like I said, before even Ronaldo signed for Al Nassr, I know that there were so many rumors that he could join MLS team. There's a chance that he could join an MLS team. There was a chance that he could join a team back in Portugal, and then as he said, Australian team were even if in for him. So yeah, Ronaldo is just it's a good player, even at age, like I said, 27. I mean 37. He was even banging in goals. 18 goals for Manchester United in the Champions League, and then even in the whole competition. So Ronaldo is the guy that comes in with still talent. He has experience, and he always bring different things to your football club if you have Ronaldo playing for you. But then you don't just get him. He doesn't even just give you goals. But remember, Ronaldo also bring in money to your club in terms of jersey. Everybody wants to buy CR7 jersey when he's playing for you. That number 7 is a brand, and it goes with him. Every football club he goes, he wants to wear that 7. So Ronaldo keen on other club interested in him before he signed for Al Nassr. So yeah, we're gonna talk about yesterday game. Yesterday game. If you guys watched the game yesterday, let me know your take. Arsenal Newcastle drew. I think there was a 0-0 game. It was a game of both halves. Everyone played equally. Arsenal was a little bit on top. Newcastle defended very, very well. And then I'll say kudos to Newcastle's defense. This is the best away game I've ever seen Newcastle played in years. This is the best away game I've ever seen them. I know they beat Chelsea at their grounds in many times. So, big up to Newcastle United. Ryan, I mean Steven. I'm not so sure. Steven was there. I think he said Arteta said this is what Arteta have to say after the game. We should have had 2 penalties to win the game, which I doubt it should have been a penalty. The last one that he was claiming for penalty, I don't think it is because the player's hands was right in a natural position where it's supposed to be. Device not connected. He just said device not connected, Steven. He says your device is not connected, but maybe it might work. Yeah, Ateta also went ahead and said we had two scandalous penalties. They were both penalties. So I don't know, Mikel Arteta. Mikel Arteta in the FA has to check in the way his behavior and how he's been acting towards football managers and coaches at the touchline, because what it does is it influences supporters that are watching the game. It can make them react abnormal way. We've seen when fans and when supporters have reacted very violently watching games. So all this motivation, all these things come from the bench in the dugout where they see the coaches sitting and the reaction of the coach behaving, in the manner that is unprofessional. So when they see this happen, they also take it upon themselves and behave the same way in the stands when they're watching the game. So I think that the FA have to come into it. We saw what he did at Stamford Bridge. His behavior, he went beyond his area, the dugout, and went to Grant Potter's area and is yelling and screaming and shouting over there, which is unacceptable in association football. So I think Grant Potter, Mikel Arteta, and then Graham Potter has to be a little bit more proactive, show some action whilst he's at his dugout coaching the boys. Title race, like I said, with Arsenal draw against Newcastle, Man City could close the gap 5 points with a win against underperforming Chelsea. Chelsea are far, far, far away from top four. Far, far, far away. And I don't know how they can see themselves coming back in the top four. So that's just by the way. Ten Hag views about Manchester United win against Bournemouth. Eric Ten Hag, this is what he has to say. Today it was not the best. United. You see, the only thing about Manchester United, they don't play very well. Bruno Fernandes hasn't played very well since he came back from the World Cup. But then there's one certain player proving everyone wrong, which is no one else but Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford has been outstanding. He comes in even from the bench. Even the last game that he started the game from the bench. He came in and then had that one goal for himself. Will that motivate him to go to PSG? I don't know about that, but I think that Rashford has been the outstanding player in the Manchester United team so far. Also, we have Martinez came back yesterday. He played very well. He started from the bench after the World Cup, so he played very well. Ten Hag, they keep possession. Ten Hag have done an amazing job so far. Manchester United, Eric Ten Hag have done a very good job. How can he continue? Is he going to have that consistency to the end of the season? And will Manchester United come back strongly next season to be able to, contest and vow for the title next season? Because Ten Hag has rejuvenated the team. They're playing very well, consistency. They're winning games after games after games. Games that they don't even play well, they still go ahead and win games, and which is a good sign of Ten Hag and his boys. I'm sure Steven is back here. Guys, don't worry. Steven is getting things worked out. He will get it. I apologize. He will get it going. So Ten Hag said after the game against the Bournemouth, Ten Hag said the game wasn't the best, in which I agree with him because I watched the game very well, and it wasn't the best of game. Is the title race still on? And you guys who all judge, was the title race still on? Title race is still on. If Arsenal have won yesterday, I would say it is still on, but then it's going to be difficult for Manchester City to catch Arsenal Football Club, because Arsenal, I don't see the weakness at this moment in the Arsenal team. I mean, they played home, they drew against Newcastle. There are still holes in their team. That is why they're trying to get Modric, outstanding player. And then I even have his statistics on the screen. Modric statistics, and he's been playing very, very well. Outstanding player. As Chelsea have also been linked with him. If Chelsea should get this guy in the club, big up to you, Herbert. Did he kick you out this time, Herbert? I mean, Ryan. Did they kick you out this time?
No, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly. Steven has been struggling a lot today. Steven has been struggling very, very badly today, and he has a lot to give me. He has a lot of information he's supposed to lay down for us to hear.
No
Yeah.
problem.
Okay.
The audio is a little bit quiet, if I'm honest.
My audio.
Yeah, I can't hear you very well, but it's not cutting out. I can hear you clearly. It's just the audio is a bit low.
Okay. I'll work on it
So,
whilst you're talking. Yeah, you can go ahead. If you have anything for us, take it
no
over us.
problem.
I fix it. Yeah.
Yep, no problem at all. And
Yo.
yeah, just what topics have been covered thus far, Nazim?
Yeah, I began talking about Steve Nichols' statement on regards to Chelsea spending 120 million on one specific player, Enzo Fernandez, and then
Sure.
we also covered news about one report from inside someone that works with the youth team that has a concrete evidence um, concerning Enzo Fernandez move and how things are going, and people have been giving him stick and abuse on the platform. And he even came up and said you can unfollow him if you don't want to, but he's very sure on this news. So I don't know. And also I watched I didn't watch it. I listened to the Athletics podcast the other day, and they came out Simon Johnson, who's also a correspondent for the Athletic based on Chelsea information. He gets all the information, and from what he's saying, negotiation and how Chelsea value Enzo Fernandez. Chelsea doesn't value Enzo Fernandez as Benfica values him for 120 million. So I don't know where things are going, and some news outlets are saying that this deal is pretty much closed. This deal is almost done deal. What do you make of this statement from Steve Nicol? If you want me to read Steve Nicol's statement for you, I'll read it for you.
Yes, sir. Please do read it.
Okay. So Steven is gone again. This is coming from Steve Nichols. Steve Nichols, former Liverpool player, very, very good player in his day. Steve Nichols said, I am the only person that thinks something is wrong with Chelsea. You are going to spend 120 million on Fernandez. Am I the only person thinking that is wrong? 150. What do you make of that amount of money spent on Fernandez on one window? Is that too much, in your opinion?
It is definitely inflated. I mean, there are several considerations here. You know, I feel sorry for the player himself because he really desperately wants this move.
Yeah.
And, you know, the higher the price, the more complicated the transaction becomes. And, you know, there's so many different players involved. There's agents, there's the club, there's the player, his salary and wages. It just elongates the kind of contract and transfer negotiation process. You have to think more broadly as well. What it's doing is, if a player goes for, you know, 100+ million pounds or dollars, and it sounds like Enzo Fernandez would break the Premier League transfer record if he does sign for Chelsea. You know, that has a knock-on effect on the broader market. The transfer market affects other teams and their negotiations and targets that they're trying to sign. I can imagine, for example, if you compare to Mudryk, the Shakhtar Donetsk winger that Arsenal are targeting, you know, Arsenal, I believe, are only willing to offer something like 50 to 60 million. But they can easily, you know, look in the market and say, hang on a sec, Enzo Fernandez is 21 years old and Chelsea are willing to pay his release clause of 100 million. So they'll go back to Arsenal and say, actually, you know, we feel we deserve to receive a fee closer to, you know, 80, 90 million. So it's very interesting. It's all very strategic. It's all intercorrelated. I don't think Enzo Fernandez is worth 100 million, but you are paying and investing in his potential, his future potential. And he, you know, I have no doubt he has the talent and ability to become a star with the right management and the right development. But unfortunately, you know, this is economics as well. At the end of the day, demand, supply, the amount of money that there is in football. the market is dictating, and the participants in the market are dictating that he is worth, 100+ million. In large part also because of his release clause. So this is economics, really, at the end of the day. Whether it's right or wrong, he is worth it. He isn't worth it is all subjective.
I agree with you 100%. Thank you very much, Ryan, for giving us all this analysis and then also breaking it down for people to understand that Chelsea is not just paying 120 million. Concerning, if you look at, you know, if you look at his work rate in the midfield, none of our players are giving us that. Misplaced passes coming from Mason Mount. Mason Mount, look, I'm one of the top Mason Mount supporters. I love Mason Mount to death. That I can't stand. I've made a couple of videos about Mason Mount that I've come against those that are abusing these young lads, because I always say that if he was your brother, will you abuse him that way? So I don't stand and abuse when people abuse players. So I support and I love Mason Mount so much. But last game, the kind of distribution, his work rate was very awful, and I don't know what is going on. From what I've read so far behind the scenes, I know that there's division in the there's been division in the camp at this moment. There's Thomas Tuchel's boys and there is Graham Potter boys. So there's division in going on at this moment. But how can this thing be solved? And I don't think that Graham Potter has lost the dressing room. No. Neither of the coaches that left have lost the dressing room. It's just that some players are not good enough. Some of these players are not good enough, and it's not on Graham Potter, because Chelsea we're doing the same thing. We're not performing. Couple games before Thomas Tuchel left, same thing is happening now. So are you gonna say it's coaches and skip sacking coaches? No, 5 years for Graham Potter. Yesterday I said 6 years. I stand the point. I correct myself today. It's 5 years. So there's always
You do wonder, Nazion, is this kind of trending towards a direction? And I don't know how Chelsea fans feel about this, but it feels a bit like deja vu, all over again. They sacked Mourinho, a couple of seasons later they bring him back. Are they going to do the same thing here with Thomas Tuchel? Are they going to bring Thomas Tuchel back? Are they going to sack Potter? Who knows? It's possible. It's possible.
I doubt it's going to be possible, because there was a reason why Thomas Tuchel was being sacked. There was a big reason, and
I'm just Nazim putting it out there as a theory. I'm not saying that
okay,
it will or won't happen, but when you're explaining things like there's factions in the camp, there's different groups. There's the Potter boys, there's the Tuchel boys.
Yeah.
This sounds very deja vu to me. It sounds a lot like what happened during Mourinho's tenure. He had
right.
pro Mourinho, and you had the people that are against him who ultimately got him the sack. They would call him the crowd were calling them the Chelsea Rats. I don't know if you remember.
I do
when
remember.
Mourinho got sacked
100%.
for the second time. Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember that. I do remember that a lot, because that becomes very toxic and becomes dangerous if you have a team of two sets. Team players that think they can work very well with Thomas Tuchel, and a team that think, I can work well with Graham Potter. And one thing that bothers me a lot is it affects the fans, those that are paying money on the match day time to listen to these people. To watch these people play football, for them to be entertained. That is all it's all about, entertainment. We're coming in there. We want to see our team win. We want to see our team perform. And then also it affects our everyday life. The supporters, yes. If Chelsea lose, I know a couple friends that will not even come on the platform to talk, because the emotions that goes into it is a lot. It's a lot, and that people. It takes people to digest and accept that they've lost, because lots of Chelsea fans are not used to losing. They're used to seeing trophies, title winnings, winning Premier League, winning Champions Leagues, and winning FA Cup and Carabao Cup. Everything they're winning it. So it's very difficult for them to accept that. Is it the new norm, right? Is it the new norm for Chelsea that it has to take a while before they can be able to win trophies again? Go through, or do Chelsea have to accept that? Okay, we have to go through.
Not at all. Look at Man United. They've had such a tumultuous last probably 10 years since Fergie left, but they've still managed to win trophies. You know, when Mourinho was there, he won, what, 2 trophies and a Community Shield, despite they're not competitive in the league and they're not in the big competitive in the big trophies, you know, like the Champions League. They still managed to pick up FA Cups and League Cups. So, no, Chelsea can definitely win domestic trophies, even during evolutionary and you know, you know, reset cycle that they're going through.
Yeah, Steven said, sadly, Chelsea fans' base is really toxic. Yeah, it is really, really toxic over there. And I hope that all heads will go down, relax for Graham Potter, because Potter is not going anywhere. You know, like I said, 2 weeks ago, Potter was in the States and met with Todd Bowley. They have to discuss things and see what is going on with the future of the football club. So this is the time for Graham Potter to build his team. Lots of the players there, Potter don't have any player there. Potter hasn't had even a single transfer. A single transfer. Potter hasn't had any. And when you go to Brighton, all the players that you see over there at Brighton, it is Potter brought them in. It is Potter's idea. I need this player. I've seen his player's profile. I know what he can do. I can work with this player. I was even thinking that it was Potter's, who decided to bring Khalidou Koulibaly in the team, but he's thinking the whole defense. You know, I don't think it's Potter's idea to bring Khalidou Koulibaly in there. He was already coming. It was a club signing. So let's see that way. We all have to trust in Potter. Who knew that Arsenal would be on the Premier League table, leading the Premier League table till now because of the trust and the backing that they have in Arteta. But can Arteta do it the rest of the season? No one knows. We have to trust in Potter because he's already proven in the Premier League. He has beaten the big teams. Now, looking forward to work with Chelsea. If he was able to use Brighton, and Brighton were not a team that sit. They were not sitting back and then break teams down based on the counter-attacking. They're not a counter-attacking team. They play all out. They'll match you boot for boot. That is what he was doing at Brighton. So imagine with the quality that Chelsea have at this moment. There's no way that Chelsea cannot play good football. It's just that we have to get the tactics right. And when do we see Potter's fingerprint? We have to see those blueprints. It will be coming in soon. That is what Chelsea fans are not seeing now. We're not creating chances because of the harmony. There's no much peace in the dressing room, but it doesn't mean he's lost the dressing room. We'll look into that as we move on. We're done with this Enzo Fernandez thing, and we're done with Steve Nicol. Chelsea, and also Ryan, I want to get back to you on this. Chelsea link with Vlahovic, and this is the deal. Chelsea are hoping to include midfielder Mateo Kovacic in a deal for Juventus striker Dusan Vlahovic. Express and Football London has also expressed Vlahovic link with Chelsea. Where do we see this deal going?
Yeah, I mean, Chelsea are crying out for a long-term centre forward, aren't they? Lukaku hasn't worked out. They tried to play Kai Havertz in that position. They've tried Timo Werner before with kind of mixed success. So yeah, I think Vlahovic, he has kind of the physical attributes to thrive in the Premier League. Yeah. I don't think he's the quickest centre forward, but he looks like he would be a goal scoring threat. He would suit the Premier League, and he hasn't done amazingly well at Juventus so far, but I think there are mitigating circumstances which explain why he struggled. I know he's had some injury issues, and Juventus are going through a very toxic period right now, on and off the field. So he's definitely one that he's a name that should be near the top of their transfer target list. Obviously, that goes without saying that Chelsea have already agreed a transfer for Nkunku. So That's something to consider if they were to sign a Vlahovic. How would that work? Would they play a front two, or would Nkunku play out wide in a front three and Vlahovic down the middle? These are things to definitely consider.
Yeah. Also, one thing I want to say is, if you have any other thing, we can talk about it later on once we're done talking about this. What I have here on the paper, and also this player that I want us to talk about. I know Chelsea don't really. I mean, Steven doesn't really like him, but look, I watched a little clip of this guy and the way, the kind of confidence he have. No wonder why Arsenal are running after him. They are keen on trying to get this guy to the football club. To me, he's like a Rolls Royce of a player. Modric, Mikhail Modric. Mikhail Modric, and look at his number, 2022-2023 numbers. He's played 12 matches, 7 goals, 7 assists, 3 yellow cards, 1 red card. Why wouldn't you, Ryan, what would you ever wish to have this player in your starting lineup? I don't know if you've seen some of the
Yeah,
clips
I've
on this
seen
guy.
I've seen a few clips, and he suddenly passes the eye test. He's skillful, he's quick, he's direct.
Very direct.
Uh, his stats are impressive, but you know this better than me, Nazan, and I'm sure our viewers can appreciate this as well. You always have to be careful looking at goals, assist statistics from other leagues, especially ones that are not, elite ones. Um, with all respect to the Ukrainian,
I mean,
sorry, the
Ukrainian league, with all
the
due
league
respect.
that, yeah, with all due respect to the league that Shakhtar Donetsk are in, it's not the Premier League or Serie A or La Liga. Uh, I mean, I've seen the news in the last few days that Chelsea have joined the race for the
Yeah.
player, but I know we've discussed this with Stephen offline in our group chat, and it's controversial and debatable whether Chelsea's interest is genuine or this is, news being put out there by the agent to accelerate the deal and get Arsenal to pay more in transfer fee.
But
Um,
Ryan, I'm not cutting you off. This is what I want to say. I know Shakhtar Donetsk, the Ukrainian league, have created lots of superstars, lots of stars, lots of stars to the Premier League. I know where Willian was coming from. I'm not so sure of many of the players, but I know how good Willian was and was coming from Shakhtar. I'm very sure, right? Uh, or was it coming from the Russian league? I think the Shakhtar, right? Shakhtar Donetsk. That was where William was
yeah,
coming from.
I look at Shakhtar Donetsk. Yeah, I can remember some of their ex players. So there are ones that have moved across to the Premier League and done very well, like Fernandinho. He used to play for
Fernandinho.
Shakhtar Donetsk. Willian, in his Chelsea
Because
days
they have
was
a
excellent.
very
He
good
won the
link with
title.
Brazilian players.
True, they have very good link with Brazilian players, but then you've got other players that haven't been successful and have moved across, like Mkhitaryan and Douglas Costa, who had really really impressive statistics out there, and they couldn't cut the mustard when they moved to the Bundesliga or the Premier League. So it's always a risk reward
I mean,
buying players from I don't want to say worse leagues, but you know what I mean, like lesser
yeah,
leagues,
lesser leagues. I know
less
you're talking
competitive
about the
leagues.
competitive, yeah, the
Yeah.
intensity of the league. But yeah, some players stand out depending on what you're doing. Okay, imagine a player of his caliber and what he's doing and what you see him do. If he comes to the Premier League and taking players on, going direct, and you think, okay, God, this guy can do it. It's just like how Klopp saw Diaz. Klopp saw Diaz play at Anfield, and he think this guy has passed the test, and they brought him in, and he came and he was playing very well. So, do you think that maybe the eye test you can, because every player that you're bringing to your football club is always a gamble. It is not a rest assured that he's going to be proven in the Premier League, because who knew? Even Andrew Shevchenko, who was on top of his game, Fernando Torres, who was on top of his game as Liverpool, we brought him to the Stamford Bridge. It wasn't that best as much as he gave us. We didn't get the best of Fernando Torres. Andrew Shevchenko, who was being brought to the club based on the relationship with the owner, also did not live up to expectation. So many players, Anelka, who also you could have done better. If he hadn't been Anelka's miss, we would have been and win the Champions League before John Terry's miss. So there are players that they were on top of their game, even playing in the high competitive league, brought them to various clubs in England and could still did not perform. So transfer, buying players is always a gamble. That's how I'll put it. Right.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I 100% agree with you. All these top clubs have, uh, strong recruitment teams, and they do very, very in-depth analysis and scouting, and they watch these players, over a long time period, yeah, before making their decision to make bids and try to acquire the players. And yeah, it's always a gamble, no matter what the stats are telling you, because there are variables that you can't, model or account for.
Yeah.
Quantitatively, I mean, like how is a player going to adapt to living in another country, and culturally, how is he going to adapt? Is he going to get on, ethically with the manager and the culture at the club? These things you can't forecast or predict really. Um, how does his body hold up in the style of football that's played in England? These kind of things are more difficult to quantify. But interesting, I've just seen some news in the last few hours that Arsenal have had a second bid rejected of 62 million for
Yeah.
Madrid, and Shakhtar Donetsk. They're clearly no mugs. The article I read, it said that they are using as a benchmark the Jack Grealish and the Anthony deals. Jack Grealish was sold for 100 million to Man City. Anthony, somewhere in the region of 80 million, was sold to Man United.
Man United.
They're looking at those fees as kind of benchmark and saying to Arsenal,
And then
like I was saying before, this it's all interrelated. The transactions, even in the past, in previous windows, it all affects the going rates. And yeah, they're saying to Arsenal, hang on, you need to up your
up your bid.
asking price. Yep.
Yeah. Because they're also using Enzo Fernandez also as a benchmark because he's going for 120 million. No one knew Enzo Fernandez until he went to the World Cup. No one knows him very well. So the World Cup has really exposed him to the world how good of a player he is. And I agree with you. They're trying to create a bidding war, even if it's not true. They'll put the agent to put out there so apps now will increase the price, will increase the money. But then I want Chelsea to get this guy. I want Chelsea because Ruben Loftus-Cheek is an injury pro player. He can stay a whole season without any injury. So that midfield, there's a gap over there. We have Kovacic. Kovacic is good, but then sometimes he's laughable. He can't give you that many goals going forward. He doesn't have that eye to give those crispy passes. And I love Kovacic. I love him a lot. But then when time is up, you have to speak the truth. Put friendship aside and speak the truth. He's not good enough.
Absolutely.
He's not good
And
enough.
it's interesting. I've seen some Arsenal fans on social media today, saying that the club should walk away from this deal. 100 million, I think, is the asking price now. Shakhtar Donetsk wants his crazy money, and a cheaper alternative would be just to recall Pepe from his loan.
Oh yeah, Pepe. Yeah, Pepe.
Yeah.
Because the team is playing very well now. Bring Pepe, give him a try. 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and see what he can do from the bench. Because now it looks like the Arsenal call is there. They know what they're playing. The tactics is there. So that is what I was saying. Because of they know the setup, they know what they're doing. When you bring a player out and you bring another player in, he knows what he has to do. So the style, the print is there. That's what they're based on. I saw Arteta doing things. You stay right there. Don't go that way. Stay right there. You have a certain perimeter that you have to run into. And they know what they're doing. Just like I was saying, what is Potter doing? We haven't seen Potter style so far, but you can tell what Arsenal are doing. They've missed Gabriel Jesus, but then Nketiah knows what he has to do based on what they're teaching them in the dressing room or during the training ground. So they're implementing the same thing on the football pitch. So if you should bring Pepe, you spend 70 million on Pepe. That's a lot of money. You can't put that
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
He's got talent. He has talent. He has a lot of talent. But then maybe he wasn't utilized very well. You have to bring this guy and let him start playing. And then because there's harmony, there's unity, there's so much respect. The odd ones are out, which is Obama Young, and other players are out now. Pepe should be able to play very well because he knows that whoever is playing in that position is playing very well. So I have to go in and put in a shift. So I agree. Yeah, if they're saying should bring Pepe, it's fair. It's fair enough because he already know the club. Ryan, go ahead.
No, no, it's absolutely correct. I agree with everything you're saying. He knows the club. He's familiar with how the club operates, and he's not going to, come into the environment and destabilize things. Um, and I agree, yeah, what you said, that he can just come off the bench 20, 30 minutes. It can give the likes of Saka, Martinelli a rest, which, based on the match I saw yesterday with Newcastle, they both actually, especially Martinelli, looking quite tired and needs break. Remember, both of them were at the World Cup with their countries, so they haven't had much of a rest period. I just think, summarizing, just to go back to what we were discussing about the mechanics and economics of the transfer market, it really is capitalism. It
Yeah.
really is
Yeah.
capitalism now.
Yeah. Ryan.
It's
Before you
oh
go
god,
into that, let me read this real quick from Stephen.
go for it.
Stephen, thank you for the correction. From the way I saw the guy playing, I always think he's a midfielder, but then he's a winger. He plays on the left hand side. He's a winger. So Modric, he said Modric isn't a midfielder, and midfield needs to be solved. Then right back can't get attackers. Still can't get attackers till we sell wingers. So yeah, thank you very much, Stephen, for the correction. I made a mistake over there. I thought from what I saw on the screen, it looks like a midfielder to me who's more direct, but then he's a winger. So thank you very much. And Ryan, yeah,
No, yeah, I agree with that. What Stephen said as well, that's not a top position area that
yeah,
Chelsea need to look at strengthening or in the transfer market. The
midfield and then the defense.
midfield, they've got a lot of midfielders on their books. Right now, it's the
Wingers.
winger is not the top priority for them. It's the midfield and the defense, like you said. But yeah, just summarizing on what we were discussing about the economics and the mechanics of the transfer market. It really is capitalism now. You asked me before, what is Enzo Fernandez worth, and that's almost irrelevant. What
Yeah.
the player's worth, the intrinsic value, it doesn't matter. It's what the selling club wants, and it's what the buying clubs are willing to pay. It's a bidding market, basically. That's what the transfer market has become.
Big up to you, Kane. Kane said, please, is Fernandez done deal? No, it's not done deal yet, but it's very, very close, and it's something that we don't want to be talking about it all the time because it's every day there's new news going on, and then I think Herbert, Ryan got kicked off. Ryan, you can still use the same link and come back. Ryan, I'm trying to share if there's any latest update on Fernandez. I'm just checking right now, so stay in there with me. Do not go anywhere. I'm just so it's a recycling news over and over and over. It's the same news at this moment. I shared that I've shared with you guys. So I keep looking at Fabrizio if there's any new update. It is not done deal yet. From what we have at this moment, it's both are trying. I've agreed right now. Benfica have contact River Plate where in Brazil, River Plate in Argentina, where Enzo Fernandez had his transfer from. They've contacted them. There's a fee. At least River Plate would make almost about 30 million euros from the deal. So that is well noticed. Enzo Fernandez wants the move. He has agreed to move to Chelsea. And at this moment, what they're waiting for is the right fee. and how the payments they have agreed on when how they're gonna make that payment. But then we're waiting for the done deal. Is let's give ourselves a couple more week. I think a week will be that one. I don't want you guys to stress yourself. So that is why I don't want to talk about Enzo Fernandez all the time, because when you stress yourself, there should be, we need a midfield. We need to work in the midfield, and then the left, I think left back, left back and the right back. We need those position filled for the football club. We need those positions without a doubt, because Aspilicueta going forward is very good, but it doesn't contribute much going forward compared to what Reece James is going to give you going forward. Ryan, if you're there, you can come back. Ryan. Yeah, Ryan, click on the same link. Click on the same link. If it doesn't work, let me know. If the link doesn't work, just let me know. Like I said, Aspilicueta is a good seven. He's served for the club for quite a long time. He still got some in him, but you cannot have Aspilicueta play 90 minutes. We need someone on the right side, and we need someone also on the left hand side. I'll say Koulibaly is shaking, and it's finding it very difficult. So it's Cucurella. Cucurella very small and tiny. It doesn't matter your size, but he's struggling in defense. We need some good defenders, just like Ryan said earlier on. Potter is a guy, and just is a guy who's looking for a natural left-footed center back. We have Koulibaly, who's not a natural left-footed center back. So we have at this moment we have this French guy who is coming in to play that position. He's a very, very, very good guy, and his stacks speaks to itself. So we at that left side, we're in the center back position. We're probably going to be good for a little bit of a period of time, which we're probably going to give him 2 more games for him to start playing with the team. But then we have a Koulibaly, like I said, Koulibaly there in the left side. The left fullback is Cucurella. Ben Chilwell is injured, and Cucurella is the guy filling in the gaps at this moment. Cucurella is also very versatile. He can play in the back three. But I think he can play in the back. He's very versatile. He can move into the midfield, and then as Potter has been playing with this two formation, in that back three, you can have Cucurella playing there with the back four. You can have Ben Chilwell, who at this moment Ben Chilwell is gone, injured. So we're looking forward to see what Ben Chilwell can. How long it's going to take him to get back. So, like I said, there's no new update, and this one is coming from Standard Sport. Napoli and Barca pose as Chelsea continue Jorginho and Kante talk. Kante, I know for sure he will be staying with the club. Jorginho, I doubt he's not going to be there after summer. Jorginho, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, those 2 guys for sure, they will be moving on. Matthew Kovacic, I'm not so sure he'll be staying there or getting another contract. Steven said he might get another contract with Chelsea. Again, up to now, we can all say that Rafael Leao's contract, Chelsea move is cut off. Some people seem to be lazy, but I would say maybe he's a young player and not proven yet. So he was the best player in the Italian league. And the Italian league is not the same as the Premier League. So as Sandro Tallini said, Leao wants to stay at Milan. You can see that Rafael Leao is happy here and always be key player for the club's project, told DA, I think DAZN. He told DAZN. So Rafael Leao is happy at the club. Young player, he'll be staying at AC Milan. AC Milan has it's a very, they have new managers, new owners, and then also trying to get to where they used to be in somewhere in the 1999s and 98s when they were winning everything. That's what they call the Catanaccio, the Italian Catanaccio. They're very good defending. They defend from all sides. Very, very good. They were winning almost everything in Italian league and winning everything in Europe. Back in the day, you can talk about Cafu, Seedorf, Edgar Davids. You can talk about the Brazilian and the Liberian president, Upon Villa. All these big players played for AC Milan, and those were the days that they were they were winning almost everything. And you can also talk about Filippo Inzaghi. Well, there are players you can name. There are players you can name. They play for AC Milan. Now things are looking very, very bad for them. So it's Juventus. Juventus in their days, old ladies they call them. So it's things are very going very bad for them. So yeah. What do we have? What else do we have to talk about? We talk about Leao's move to Chelsea. It's off. Any more updates? Any more updates? Just Fabrizio Romano have something. Oh, there's an update in 55 seconds. There's an update in 55 seconds. Let me share the update with you guys at this moment. I know you guys want to hear it. I understand there is no agreement after new meeting today between Chelsea and Benfica for Enzo Fernandez. It was never a done deal. It's not a done deal as of now. After meeting and talked, there's still no agreement on key details on clause and payment. Sorry. After meetings, let me take that again. After meeting and talks, there's still no agreement on key details on clause and payment. This is 53 seconds ago. Let me share it with all that are watching at this moment. Let me share it. So it'll be so this is the breaking news coming again. It's the same news that they are repeating itself. So if you want any news on Fernandez, if you want any more news on Enzo Fernandez, here you go. No, I think I've shared the wrong one. If you want any news on Fernandez, this is it for you. So yeah, we got 11 of us watching here. If you're watching, you haven't put a like on the video, do not hesitate. Please don't forget to put a like on the video. It helps the channel, helps YouTube push the channel to different places. So this is what we have here at this moment. This is what we have here. I don't need this here. What am I doing? My messages. Okay, this is what we have here. It says understandable. There is no agreement after new meetings today. Between Chelsea and Benfica for Enzo Fernandez, it was not a done deal. It was not a done deal, he stated. This is just 2 minutes ago. It was not a done deal. It's not a done deal as of now. After meetings and talks, there are still no agreement on key details on clause and payment terms. So I've said this again many times. I said Chelsea have its own valuation for this guy. They have their own valuation. We've had over the couple days that payment terms have been agreed, and the way Chelsea we're going to make this payment has been set up. Okay, so what is stopping the deal to be done now? Enzo Fernandez has agreed to move to Chelsea. Yeah, it is done. Has the club agreed that payment? Has the club agreed on Chelsea's evaluation? And I said yesterday from a podcast, from the Athletic podcast released yesterday, that Chelsea has their own valuation for Enzo Fernandez, but Chelsea will not pay 120 million for Enzo Fernandez. What has Enzo Fernandez done in the last months before we went to the World Cup? No one knew of Enzo Fernandez. No one knew of this guy. So Chelsea are not valuing Enzo Fernandez for a fee of 120 million. No way. That is too much of a money. But then it's a long-term project, and I understand the valuation. If Maguire, who even Manchester United don't value him at this moment, went for 80 million from Crystal Palace. This guy is a very, very good midfielder. But I think 120 million is way too much. And the reason why we have to have Christopher Verville at the club is to be able for him to strike a good deal. Todd Bowley is not just throwing money away just like Roman Abramovich did. Roman Abramovich doesn't care how much money that comes to the football club. He was willing to make sure Chelsea becomes the best team in the world. Chelsea wins every trophy that will be laid down in Europe. That is what he's achieving. That is what he wants. But these owners, they want to invest money and they want money back because the money that they're putting in, they are taking it from banks. So if we think that Todd Bowley will just go and throw the money away, Christopher has his valuation. Chelsea have their valuation. They want to sit down and strike a better deal. But I don't think Enzo Fernandez will be going for a fee of 120 million. Even if they have to break it down, that will even take over 6-7 years to pay off that money because 120 million is very hefty. It is very, very hefty. So the Modric deal is trending. Enzo Fernandez, this is the update of Enzo Fernandez. If you're looking for any update on Enzo Fernandez, this is what it is. Big up to you. I want to love you. She said only 2 likes and 13 people watching at this moment. Guys, if you like what you're watching, remember you have to like the video, subscribe to get notification. Thank you. We got 15 of us. It's better. Let's throw some likes down. If you have 15 of us and you're just watching, this is the update of Enzo Fernandez. Thank you very much. I 123 love you, and I really love you for the things you do, and I appreciate you as well. So that is what we have had so far from Enzo Fernandez at this moment. This has also been tweeted from London is Blue podcast. I don't want to see some of these things. So, like I said, this is what we're having here. So there's still the Absolute Chelsea also tweeted there is still no agreement between Benfica and Chelsea for Enzo Fernandez following another meeting today. So yeah, we're gonna end it up there. Enzo Fernandez deal will be a long saga, to come before this guy can be a fully Chelsea player. We have to have patience, and I know some of Chelsea fans have the patience. I don't know what it looks like. I'm not sure if I'm frozen. Am I frozen? I think I'm not. It was frozen on YouTube, but then from what I just refreshed it, I'm still working all right. So these are the questions I want to ask you, the viewers, and you, the fans that listen. With Arsenal draw against Newcastle, Man City could close the gap to 5 points with a win. Can Arsenal go ahead and win this trophy, win the Premier League? Is the title race back on? Is Manchester City? Can Manchester City still give Arsenal the run for their money? Chelsea spending huge amount on Fernandez is it sensible? Is it a sensible move to you viewers that are watching? Let me know what you think. Is that amount of money, 120 million on Fernandez? Is it right? Let me know what you think. Can Man City take advantage of Chelsea's poor form? Right, I think tomorrow, Wednesday, Chelsea will be playing Man City. To me, this is what I think. I want, if it comes to my opinion, is I want Chelsea to win that game because it will bring new harmony to the team, to the group. It will bring harmony. It will bring some kind of a rejuvenation. They will start playing good football. But we've seen Chelsea win against a big team like Man City, and then go on the next game, play a mid-table team, and then end up not playing well. But also, if Chelsea doesn't win it, I'm also going to be happy because that means that Arsenal and Manchester City will be closing the gap against Arsenal. But I want my team to win. I want Chelsea to be able to win, and then we can move forward. Excuse me. Is Vlahovic a good option for Chelsea? He's a very, very good option for Chelsea, no matter what his statistics are. He is a very, very good player for Chelsea. But then the price tag on Vlahovic is too much since we already have Aubameyang there. Oba is there. We have Armando Broja. We have a Broja also over there, and then we have Detron Fafana, also another striker that is coming from Maldi, another good striker also coming in. So we have that, and we have Ryan Sterling on left hand side. We have Kai Havertz that we used to play him as false nine. So at this moment in time, I don't think the deal for Vlahovic is going to happen. It ain't going to happen. It's not happening. But he is a good option for Chelsea. No matter what, he will be a good, very, very good option for Chelsea. Very good option for Chelsea, like I said. So let me see what Sai has to say on yeah, everybody's repeating the same news. Simon Philip also have to say Chelsea and Benfica continue negotiation for Enzo Fernandez. There is still no agreement on the payment method. We had a couple days ago that both parties have agreed on payment and payment terms, and it's going to be split out. The payment will be split out for 2, 3 years, 4 years, and blah 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 blah. So yeah, we go again today, and nothing, nothing concrete, nothing concrete has been established. So Vlahovic move. I said, can Arsenal bear the title pressure in the remaining games? Woo, woo. You know, none of the players that they have won the Premier League before. None of them. They haven't. None of them have seen it. Even I'll say some of them were not even born when the last time Arsenal won the Premier League. So with the pressure, it all have to be on Arteta. If Arteta is able to handle the pressure very well, psychologically, should be able to impact that knowledge on the players on how they can control the rest of the game to the end of the season. So it all depends on what Arteta is saying. I think what do I have here? More on Thuram and Felix, and several other new attacking targets here. So I'm not gonna click on it and then go there because I think this is where we're gonna sum up the end of the news, guys. I want to apologize for some of the technical issues from beginning of the stream. It's always, technical problem can happen. That sometimes the stream goes on very well, and I'm not the only one that have suffered technical difficulties, and it's not coming from my end. It is just from my co-host who was going to give us that energy, but we couldn't get it. But I want to say thank you for everyone. Thank you for Steve. Thank you, Steven. Thank you, Ryan and Techie Herbert. Everyone that have been part of the show today. I123 love you. Thank you very much. And then also Keen. Thank you very much. And who was that? Oscar. Oscar could not wait to join. Could not wait to hear what I have to say. Kim P. We appreciate your time. And then also, who else did not acknowledge over here? I think I've said almost everyone that came in there. And then all of you that are viewers, those that are watching that haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel, like the video, keep your bell notification icon, and follow me on all my social media platform. Instagram, I'm right there. I put news, I put information. As soon as the news come, I pick it up and then post it. So thank you all for the time, and then I'll say Leo Desperandons, hang on to hope, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Ciao. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Blue Clouds TV.